ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Can I have the first slide? वेदो नित्यमधीयताम् तदुदितं कर्म स्वनुष्ठीयताम् तेनेशस्य विधीयताम् अपचितिः काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम् पापौगपरिधूयताम् भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयताम् निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् संगसत्सु विधीयताम् भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिपरिचीयताम् दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यताम् प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यताम् श्रुतिशिरोः वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् We have seen here so far in this text 14 different instructions have been given. These are all for us to recognize a greater purpose of our life and move forward. Now what is said earlier in the previous 13 and 14 was reach the abode of a teacher, sadvidvan upasrupyatam. Approach a teacher with all humility. Pradidinam, every day, tat paduka sevyatam. Do the seva at his feet. This, some people may misunderstand. Oh, becoming a slave to somebody. It is not that. Learning takes place when you are at the lower plane. From a higher plane to lower plane is what is called the flow of knowledge. In a Hindu mythology, Saraswati is considered as the very abode of knowledge. The very word Saras is flow. Saraswati, one who flows. Water flow is what is referred as Saraswati. Sarasija, when you say it, is called lotus. Sarasi ja means jayate. Sarasi jayate iti sarasija. Jale jayate is jalaja, like that. So Saraswati is the very flow of knowledge. It is symbolically represented by the form of Saraswati. The flow can happen only from higher plane to the lower plane. So knowledge can happen only from those who know to those who do not know. Those who do not know, therefore, must be at a lower level to receive it. So when it is said that you must worship the feet of the teacher, means be there to receive that knowledge. And worshipping the feet means having proper respect, reverence, because knowledge is always learned only when you have love, and love comes only when you have respect. That's why in our pledge also, we stand as one family with love and respect. What you respect, you love. What you love, you respect. If you do not respect what you love, that is called lust, passion. So what you love, you must respect, whether it is one's own spouse, parents, country, whatever it is. When you have true love, you respect that person or the thing. Because it enables you to be happy, makes you happy. So when I say, I love pizza, I respect pizza. It's not, that is not respect, because that is only for indulgence. But something which really elevates you, makes you a better person, makes you a greater happiness, a lasting happiness, respect. So here, love gives respect, and the love itself makes you learn also. You don't learn unless you love that which you want to know. So that respect is what is referred here as Tat Paduka Sevyadam. Worship. It does not become Guru's chela, going behind all the time, persecuting him or her also. It's not that. That knowledge, when it is possessed, owned by a master, an individual must have humility and respect to receive it. And what knowledge that great person would give to you is the supreme knowledge of about the absolute self, which is referred in our Hindu scriptures as Om, as you see in this chart. Om. That is known as Aksharam, Brahma Eka Aksharam. That's what is referred there. Brahma Eka Aksharam Artyatam. Om is considered as a symbolic representation of the absolute nature in you, which is the nature of God also. Now, what is this absolute nature? I think sometime back, last week or so, I explained. The world of matter is Ksharam, subject to change. But law of matter is Aksharam. It is relatively eternal. So Krishna says in 15th chapter, Sharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutasto Ksharamuchate. See, if we see, this world is there, where we are all sitting. You and I can see ourselves. But what is that law of nature which makes us all sit there? Gravitation. Can you see it? Life you see beautifully expressed in the trees and the plants and the animal, birds everywhere. Can you see life? So that if it is hidden, that is called kutastha. Kute ivastitaha. Hidden. So what is perishing is one thing. That which is the law of nature is not that which perishes. That's called kutastha. Krishna says, I am beyond all these two. Sharas sarvani bhutani. All matter is subject to change. Kutastha akshara muchade. The prakriti, the law of matter is kutastha. Uttama purushastu anya. I am different from all these things. Paramatma idi udahrataha is referred as Paramatma. That Paramatma is behind all the laws of change and changes also. That is referred, which is unknown, but recognizable, realizable. Presently unknown, but not unknowable. That is the very nature and essence of all of us. That is indicated in the letter, symbolic representation of that is Om. That's called Brahma Eka Aksharam. Just like in mathematics, maths you have x. X value is not known. The value of x is known only when you solve the problem, solve the equation. In the same way, the greatest mystery of life is to discover what is Om. And when you reach there, you say, I am Hari Om. I am going home. Gurudev used to say, Hari Om, meaning go home, find out who you are. So that Om is made of three letters, A, U and Ma. A-U-M. So when you pronounce Om, it's A, U and Ma. Now this is very symbolic again. It is in Mandukya Upanishad, one of the very well-known Upanishad. The discussion takes place there. What is Om? Let us come to our own personal experience, everyday experience. Oh, you are all awake, right? Right? So most of you, I would assume. This world of experience that you have right now is one level of experience. Just 5 hours back, what was your experience? Sleep. Right? So now it is 9 o'clock, let us say, that some 5 hours back, 4 o'clock, I'm sure none of you were awake. Unless you had the Dandiya dance yesterday, you had Garba, whatever, so much, then you could not sleep at all, probably. But usually, when you are asleep, that is a different level of experience. What is that? Peaceful, blissful, joyful, no disturbance. In between, there is another experience called dream. So we have 3 traits of experiences. Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Waking, dream and deep sleep. Jagna, Swapna, Sushuptishu Sputatara Yasam Vidujrumbate. Shankaracharya in another place says, Jagrat avasthayam, in the state of waking, Sushupti avasthayam, Swapna avasthayam cha. In the dream as well as in the sleep, Ya samvid, that which is awareness, ujrumbade, present. So now you remember your dream, don't you? Though it may not be real, but you remember. Oh, I went to Hawaii. And there I was sitting there enjoying that. So you are enjoying that Hawaii, whatever. It was not real, but you enjoyed that in dream. Then you woke up in the middle of the night and you know that you are just lying down in your own bed. Anyway, go to sleep again. So the dream you were aware even when you woke up. Then you had, let us say, a very nice sound sleep. Sleep for yourself, sound for others. Sound sleep. That also you are aware. Then you woke up really and then got up to come here. You are now aware. So your awareness is aware of dream experience, sleep, and the waking. These three are represented as A, U, and Ma. Akaro jagratavastayam, ukaro swapne, makaraha sushuptau. So A is representing, because when you open the mouth, the first sound that comes A, isn't it? Open up. That's why Akaro Sarvavak. A is the very origin of all sound in all languages. In English, A you say. Actually, A includes A also. Automatic, how do you say? A, right? Not automatic. Isn't it? Automatic. That A letter in English is A also. So when you say awareness, it's A only. It's not awareness. You don't say A. Only in Malayalam there is awareness. Awareness. So akaro sarvavak. So everything starts with A. So even waking is therefore represented as A. U, let us keep it aside for a while. Ma is where everything closes. Meaning in sleep everything ends. All your thoughts and experiences, emotions and all activities end. You know, in English also, when you are not saying anything, why you are keeping mum, meaning everything ends. Ma. So Ma represents sleep. Everything ends. So A and Ma, waking and sleep. In between is U. The mouth is, so A, U, See? So A is waking. Ma is sleep, in between is U. So A, U, together become Aum. See how wonderful it is. So Om represents all possible experiences one can have and beyond. That's why if you see the Sanskrit letter Om, one circle is, half circle is like this, another half circle is this. So one is waking, another is dream, then like this one it put, that is sleep, completed, complete whole, you see that. It's not open, it's closed. You see that? One half circle is A, another half circle is U, then like this when you put, that is complete, it is sleep. But while you are, whether you are awake, asleep or dreaming, you are aware. You know your own state of experiences in waking, you are aware of your dream, you are aware of the blissful sleep that you had. On waking up, you know that I slept well. Who knows the one who was not sleeping? Supte suptim na janati na supte swapna jagaro. A person who is sleeping does not know he is sleeping. Did you sleep well? If I ask you. Yes, did you sleep well? How do you know? My wife told me. Because the whole place was vibrating with my sleep. How do you know that you slept? Who told you? And anybody has to tell you? Oh, you slept very well. Then you will ask, how do you know? I know that I slept well. Even some, the whole world says you did not sleep well. I know it. So I, the one who knows that I slept well, was awake to know that I was sleeping. Is it confusing? If I were not there, I means the awareness was not there, I did not know that I slept well. Somebody walks into this room, let us say into the hall at 8:30 instead of 9 o'clock. Oh, nobody is there. How do you know? How do you know that nobody was there? That you were there. You were there to know that nobody was there. So you were there to know that nothing was going on in your mind. No thoughts, no emotion, no feeling, everything is relaxed. But you have no thought about it until you wake up. When you wake up, what was there before? As soon as you wake up, if you have the first thought, what was this before? Nothing. Who knows? I. I, the one awareness who knows that there was nothing I was thinking in the past few hours. That is referred by that Ardha Chandra there, dot. That is called awareness. That awareness you are. That is what you really are. This is called Brahma Eka Aksharam. Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idagam Sarvam. Upanishad says, this is the greatest knowledge that one can have, is that to know the meaning of Om and living by that. Edadalambanam Sreshtam, Edadalambanam Param. This is a great support for meditation. So when you sit for meditation, you recognize that I, that pure awareness, which is presently sitting down in the waking state, to recognize what is beyond. I am sitting here not as an individual, somebody's husband, somebody's wife, somebody's parent. No, I am sitting here as pure self-awareness, Om. That which is indicated by the letter Om, which indicates that awareness which is present in waking, dream, deep sleep and beyond. Jagra Swapna Sushupti Susputatara Ya Sambidujrumbade Ya Brahmadi Pipilikantatanu Shuprota Jagat Sakshini Sa eva aham na chadrishyavastiti drida prajna viyasyasti chet chandalostu sadudvijostu gururityesha manisha mama. An individual who has thus recognized that this awareness I am in the same in waking, dream and deep sleep, from Brahma onwards, the highest creator onwards, up to a little small ant, Ya Brahmadi Pipilika Anta Tanushu, that which is there present from the greatest Lord Brahma onwards up to the smallest possible existence in the body of everyone, Prota Jagat Sakshini, seeing the entire creation, Sa Eva Aham, that alone am I. Nachadrushya Vastu, not the perceivable world of matter. Idi Drida Prajna, one who has this steadfast knowledge, Yasya Asti, he who has, he is my Guru. That is the definition of a Guru. Not any dadiwala. He who is staying by that knowledge. Yasyasti, he who has this absolute knowledge. So that's why Brahma Eka Aksharam Artyatam. This knowledge should be clearly recognized. So what is the benefit of this knowledge? You may ask. Swamiji, let us say I know that. Let us say. Now you told me. So I know it. Bas, ho gaya. Moksha mil gaya. Abhi nahi. What happens is we give so much. See how much reality you give to your dream. There are some people who give so much of importance to that and then they persecute the entire life of theirs. Once you wake up from a dream, you realize that uska matlab hi nahi. Something. Now, when you are in the dream, how much importance you give to the waking state of experiences? In fact, your dream is nothing but undigested experiences of waking state. Now you are in the state of waking, means this world which you are aware of, with your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, thoughts, emotions, feelings, ideas, planning, everything. So all faculties are working, all awareness is there, everything you are experiencing in this world. So that is a state of waking state, where I am using my senses, using my body, using my mind, using my thoughts, emotions, everything. So in this, whatever you experience here, when you are not very fulfilled about it, because there are certain things you wanted but doesn't happen, that undigested thing becomes a ingredient or raw material for dream. So in the dream, a mixture of desire, unfulfilled experiences, all those things mixture comes to manifest as dream. Even though external world is not there. The world which you now presently see is not there. But you create your own world. So self-created world of dream. Swapna. Swayam apna. That's called swapna. Only oneself is there, nobody else. So there in that world, you experience so many things. But when you go to the state of sleep, neither the experiences of the waking nor the experiences of the dream has no any relevance. Everything subsided. Even this subsided. Everything is gone, completely, disappeared. But that is also another state of experience. You enjoy it. Anybody unhappy in sleep? I had a very unhappy sleep. That means unhappy dream maybe. Sleep, everybody is happy. Bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Blissfully unaware. So when you sleep, even those experiences you had in the waking and the dream, everything is gone. All regrets, all unhappiness, all displeasures, all pain and everything. So that's why you have to take a sleeping pill also. I want to take a sleeping pill and sleep. One person said, I won't take a sleeping pill. Why? Because the pill itself is sleeping. Why should I take it? That's a poor joke anyway. So you take a sleeping pill. Everything is gone. That is also another state of it. When you wake up, now ask this question. When you wake up to this world, how real is this? In fact, Janaka Maharaj asked this question to his guru, Attavakra. He said, I was dreaming myself as a butterfly, going from flower to flower, flower to flower, enjoying everything. I dreamt like that. Then I woke up to be the king. Okay. So he asked this question, which is real, the butterfly which was seen by me in the dream, or the king I am? Other words, is the butterfly dreaming itself as a king now? Or me, the king, dreamt myself as a butterfly? Which is real? Ashtavakra, the great master, smiled and said, neither. You are neither the Janaka nor the butterfly. Both are unreal equally. So as much as the dream that I had was unreal as soon as I woke up, this world, which I now experience as so real, from the highest standpoint, from Om, from the absolute nature, is equally unreal. But presently we are not able to understand that, or presently we are not able to digest that idea. Right? Swamiji, that means you are also unreal. Yes. You, yes, well, everyone. But now, presently, we cannot comprehend that. It's impossible for us. So the master says, once you reach that state of a knowledge or that state of understanding where even this world that you see is equally unreal as that of the dream, then you are enlightened. Enlightenment is where you recognize that the waking state is equally unreal like that of the dream. Even though you see it, like a dream I see, but the dream that I see, even though I see it, but it's not true. Just like you see up there blue sky. The sky is never blue, but you see it. I see it, therefore it is there. Is it not? So long as you are the drashta, the seer of this waking state of experience, that is real. Just much as your thought, oh, I am very unhappy, or I am very happy. Who is seeing this? You are seeing your thought and you are recognizing it as I am happy, unhappy, I am angry. All those things. Why? Because you gave reality, it become real. When somebody says I am very unhappy or I am very angry, that anger is a set of thoughts which is occupying his mind, and he has given reality to that. He or she has given reality to that thought, and that person becomes so tight. Why? Because the thought which he or she has occupied that person, cannot think outside that, and therefore the whole mind is full of that, and you cannot think otherwise. And after some time, fizzles away and gone. I am now happy. What happened? that thought is gone. So long as that thought is given reality, you are angry. When the thought is gone, that's unreal. So is our life. You see, all these things that we come to have as so much of reality which we give, because of which we have been going through this ups and downs with so much of anger, lust, passion, greed, jealousy, desire, this, that. And great Mahatmas say, when you recognize that as merely a dream-like existence, you live in this world, you operate, you work, you do everything unaffected. Do your best and live. So that way, when one recognizes and lives in this world, is called a man of enlightenment. So therefore, the teacher has to be approached, and by the grace of the teacher you get the knowledge, and by the grace of the teacher you are able to stay by that knowledge also. Otherwise we will be just thrown away from, again, back to the same routine of things. So Brahmaikaksharam Shruti Vakyam Samakarnyatam. Shruti Shira Vakya. Shruti means Vedas. Shruti Shira means the top of the Vedas, the head of the Vedas, Upanishads. Vakyam, statements. Samyak Akarnyatam, listen to it. Because these Shastras are giving us the ways and means and methods to remain with this knowledge. Otherwise we know it and then we forget about it. Shudishiro Vakyam Samakarnyadam. Listen to these scriptures carefully, which will give you the methods, the ways, the practices by which you can maintain this knowledge and awareness, knowledge of the awareness, so that in spite of what is happening in one's life, one can remain unaffected. This does not mean one become a stone-like existence. Do not have that hasty conclusion. He is not affected by this or that and then he remains like a stone. No. Such a person is full of compassion and love and sympathy and unconditional love for everybody, because he will have so much love for those who do not know. And they can easily come out of it, but they don't. Like a person who is, let us say, lying down dreaming and is shouting at the top of the voice by his own imagination. Won't you have that sympathy? Hey, get up. Why are you shouting, unnecessarily crying? Oh, I am suffering in dream. Get up, wake up. He wakes up. This is, I'm boring. I'm going back to dream. So that's what our case is. In spite of knowing, we are not ready to wake up. So the Upanishad says, wake up again and again. Uttishtada, Jagrada. Wake up again. Because you are not what you think you are. So this needs to be again and again and again reinforced. That is the work of the Shastras or the scriptures. We'll see more of that in the next session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.